There was this number one call that I covered all the way back in 2022, and the aftermath of that case has always stuck with me. Carrie Fisher, whom we all know and love, went into cardiac arrest while on the plane from London to Los Angeles. Medical personnel treated her on board, then rushed her to a hospital after landing. Unfortunately, she passed away 4 days later on December 27th of 2016. Her mother, Debbie Reynolds, while planning her daughter's funeral, said, "I miss her so much. I want to be with Carrie." She then suffers a fatal stroke just 15 minutes later.
She really wanted to be with Carrie in those precise words. And within 15 minutes from that conversation, she faded out. And within 30 minutes, she technically was gone.
It is said that Debbie died from a broken heart. Yes, this is partly true, and yes, the concept of dying from a broken heart is a real phenomenon. In this video, we're going to go through cases of people that died from a broken heart and what exactly happens to the body when going through such emotional trauma. In the case of Debbie Reynolds, she died of a hemorrhagic stroke. In interviews, Debbie's son, Todd Fisher, said this.
I thought it was so interesting that because we all went with this story that your mom died of a broken heart, right? Within 24 hours, she died after Carrie died. And you make the point strongly that that's not true.
Now, I got annoyed, in fact, when people kept saying that, because that is sort of the pat response, or it seems to be the obvious response. But since I was this close to her when she left, and words were spoken literally moments before she left, there was no way to misinterpret.
Your mom,
right,
Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie, I was sitting with her in her bed, literally, and she had some words with me where she said she really wanted to be with Carrie. Now, I thought she was speaking ethereally. I didn't know we met in the next 30 minutes. But my mother knew how to make an entrance and an exit. They taught you that in Hollywood. And I did not know I was witnessing anything of the sort. She was just kind of recapping things that she wanted me to handle. Or, I had said, for an example, she had said, "I don't want a big fancy memorial tomb," And then she said to me that just literally hours before she left, you bring up a good point. Maybe it would be good to have something, because now that Carrie was gone, she was thinking the fans might want to come and see Carrie. But she's saying, I might want to be there with her. So she's just recapping these things. And the next thing she knows, she's literally just closes her eyes and says, "I want to be with Carrie."
And now, that was it, that she wanted to be with her, to have her not be alone as it had been from Carrie's birth.
That's right.
We have to pick it up there, squeeze in a quick break.
The medical term for broken heart syndrome is called Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. It is called this because the weakened heart mimics the physical shape of a traditional Japanese octopus trap. Tako means octopus and tubo means pot. The name was first said by Japanese researchers in 1990 to describe the unique visual appearance of the heart during an episode. And according to the AHA, Takotsubo cardiomyopathy is a reaction your heart has to a surge of stress hormones caused by an emotional stressful event. It causes the heart to stop operating normally, resulting in heart failure. Another person that suffered from this is Johny Cash. He passed away just 4 months later after his wife, June Carter Cash. Technically, he died of respiratory failure and complications of diabetes. But his family said that after losing his wife, it compounded on Johnny's physical health. And close friends, including musician Chris Christopherson, noted that after June died, Johnny struggled deeply and cried every night. In Johnny's last interview, he said this. So unfortunately, the clip that I was going to show you guys got claimed. But basically what he said is that while he was in the hospital with June on her final days, she told him to not worry and just do his thing and to work on his music. Johny Cash was already in pretty bad physical health, but the passing of his wife speeded up his death. Johnny and June knew each other for about 47 years and married for 35. That is a long time. The bond and love that they had for each other was just beautiful. And you know what the secret is for a long marriage? Well, listen for yourselves. This other clip, unfortunately, also got claimed. What he said is that a secret to a long marriage is separate bathrooms. He laughed about it, and also the person that was doing the interview laughed as well. I'll link the whole interview just in case you guys want to watch the whole thing, even though they they claimed my video, but it's fine. Anyway, let's proceed with the rest of the video. That's right, people. Separate bathrooms. Rest in peace to both, and to Chris as well. Let's go to the next case. Doug Flutie. If you don't know who he is, well, he was a legendary quarterback in the 80s and 90s. His father, Richard Dick, was admitted to the hospital on November 18th of 2015. While in the hospital, Richard suffers from a heart attack and unfortunately passes away. Almost an hour later, Richard's wife, Joanne Flutie, also suffers from a heart attack and passes away as well.
Some sad news from former NFL quarterback Doug Flutie. Both of his parents died within an hour of each other Wednesday. They'd been married for 56 years. Flutie announced the news on his Facebook page. He said, "This morning my family experienced the tragic loss of my father, Dick, my mother, Joan. My dad had been ill and died of a heart attack in the hospital, and my mom, less than an hour later, had a sudden heart attack and passed away. They say you can die of a broken heart, and I believe it."
They were married for 56 years. That is amazing. May they rest in peace. Let's go to the next case. 67-year-old John Lamb. His son, Thomas Lamb, age 46, was unfortunately killed by 3 men. His father was inside of their home sleeping while 3 men, and quote, kicked Thomas like a football, stabbed him with a knife, and stabbed him with a pitchfork. And investigators said Thomas was at his local pub in Edinburgh enjoying a drink by himself. However, 3 other men were there as well. 21-year-old Gary Slim, 27-year-old James Watson, and his older brother, 29-year-old Paul Watson. They were there to celebrate James' release from prison. Thomas did not know these 3 men, but at some point they get into a minor argument. Thomas then decides to do the right thing and goes home. The 3 men though couldn't let it go and follow Thomas, at which point you already know what happened. All 3 men were found guilty and given life sentences, but with a minimum of 20 years. In my opinion, there should be no minimum. It should have just been life and that's it. Anyway, the father, John Lamb, was devastated. The pain of losing his son was too much, and so he passed away just 11 weeks later without seeing the killers brought to justice. And just 4 years prior, John lost his daughter and granddaughter. His daughter Sandra was only 46 and his granddaughter Donna was only 16. Donna surprisingly died in her sleep, and Sandra, well, I couldn't find any info on her passing. So Donna was the daughter of Thomas. He had been dealing with the grief of losing his baby. She was only 16. And Thomas's niece, Kim, said that John was overcome with grief over the loss of his only son. She goes on to say that, "I have no doubt in my mind that John died from a broken heart. He was devastated by his son's death and kept saying, 'You're not meant to bury your kids.'" This last case was so sad. This John lost his son, daughter, and granddaughter, and it was just too much. 4 innocent lives were lost. Yeah, this one was brutal, but hey, give me your opinion. What do you think about this broken heart syndrome? And have any people that you know suffered from this? It's interesting and at the same time really sad, and just I don't know, it also makes me think of like life after death, if there is life after death. I don't know, my brain just goes way out there, and it's just, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, give me your opinion, and thank you for watching, and thank you if you're a member of the channel and or a patron, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.